Announced the death of Al-Qaeda terrorist group leader Qassim Al Rimi last week. This is said to be a significant moment, as Rimi had been a U.S. target since early in Trump's tenure. I'm joined by Jasmine Opperman, Terrorism Research and Analysis Consortium African Director, to tell us what this all means. A very good morning to you. We know that he was a big figure. He was there before September 11th. He was very active in Yemen. Is this important for the U.S.?
Good morning. Yes, it's truly important. Al Rimi has played a very important role. He was part of the Afghanistan war. He was even a trainer at the Al Farouk training camp where the plotters of the 9/11 were being trained. He played a significant role in the rebirth of Al-Qaeda, which was announced in 2009. And from there on, we've seen from 2010 him even calling for a lone wolf attacks against the West. He was an operational person, didn't have a lot of charisma, and Al-Qaeda is at a very low stage in Yemen. They're confined to the middle mountainous areas. So the least they can afford now is to lose a leader like this. Al-Qaeda's problem is losing leaders linked to Afghanistan, and it seems there's a generation gap in terms of filling these voids.
So this Al-Qaeda as a whole, what is its status? I mean, you've got, ISIL obviously still relatively strong, those scattered, those lone wolf attacks that we're seeing all over the world. I mean, what is the status of these types of groups at the moment?
I think we should not underplay. If I can go back to Al-Qaeda, if you look at Yemen, there's a complete disintegration of the conflict. There's a lot of disillusionment with the peace process, a lot of people moving around, and they can find home in Al-Qaeda. So one must not write it off. Drone strikes will not kill these groups. It may have an impact. Al-Baghdadi was killed. A new leader was announced. They've changed their tactics. And we see in Syria and Iraq now where there is simply a reorganizing, and according to the latest UN report, 21,000 to 20,000 fighters moving or being present in Syria and Iraq. So their presence and their threat remains the same. And this is the problem with drone strikes. It has immediate impact. It creates the idea of a victory. The caliphate has imploded. But it does not kill the idea what these groups stand for.
I mean, so can I say that possibly it fuels what they stand for? I mean, if you look at the atrocities committed in Yemen by Saudi Arabia, by the UK, the French and the US offering their arms and ammunitions to the Saudi Arabians, often offering their intellectual knowledge to the Saudi Arabians, I mean, they're partially to blame.
They are partly to blame, as they are only relying on this military force. And I've always said the most important radicalization tool for a person to get involved into these ideas is a mere television set, seeing these atrocities being executed, seeing humanitarian crisis developed. And then you have individuals prone to go onto the social media, get exposed to these extremist ideas, and then decide it's their responsibility to participate and to fight these atrocities. Trump's announcements and building up this trophy list of people that have been killed, which we stand at 5 roundabout now, is not going to bring the final victory against Al-Qaeda or the Islamic State.
So you say killing somebody at the top only feeds into this, the atrocities committed against Muslims feeds into this, and I guess the concern for everybody in the world is that those who've been trained in Syria, those who've been trained in Iraq and Afghanistan and other places, return home, return to the UK, return to other countries to commit more attacks.
You always sit with that risk. But we've seen with the recent Britain attacks, UK attacks, the London Bridge attack, where people have actually been incarcerated and where extremism has been fueled in these prisons. And where some of them even were part of a de-radicalization program, walked out and executed an attack. There are policy failures at stake here. Incarceration is also not the only solution to this problem. It is the whole way in which the Western world is engaging these ideas that is unequivocally fueling extremism.
Jasmine Opperman, thank you.